Okay, so the angle relationships in circles. So I'm only going to do a portion. Um, just give you an idea of, you know, how this works. So, number 10, the idea is that when we have this interior point, right, two chords that intersect on the interior, there are two arcs that are formed. Here's an arc, and here's an arc. So we want to take the average of the two arcs, meaning we add them together. So 160 plus the other arc, right? The other arc is unknown, it's x. All right, the average would be you add two things up and divide by, however many things they are. So 2. So basically, you add them up and divide by 2, the arcs, that is. And that has to equal that inside angle, right? And here, these are going to be equal because vertical angles are congruent. So yeah, so really, now that we set the problem up correctly, we can forget about the picture and just focus on algebraically solving this thing. So solving for x, I can do anything I want to an equation as long as I do it to both sides. So what I want to do is multiply both sides by 2. All right, so what I want to do is multiply both sides by 2. On the right-hand side, we're going to get 120 times 2, which is 240. On the left-hand side, I get it. I'm multiplying by 2. So a rookie mistake is going to be like, oh, I'm going to distribute, right? Like you're not distributing. The whole purpose of multiplying by 2 is because the left-hand side is being divided by 2. So they're going to cancel. The 2's are going to cancel, leaving behind just the top, which is 160 plus x. Now solving for x, you subtract 160 from both sides. So x is going to equal whatever 240 minus 160 is. 80. So x is equal to 80. And that's exactly what we're looking for. X equals 80. So remember, you add up the arcs and divide by 2, and that should equal whatever that internal angle is. All right, 11. Same idea, right? 52 plus 40 divided by 2 should equal whatever that central angle is. In this case, it's x, so this is ideal. So 52 plus 40 is going to be 92 divided by 2. So 46. So x is equal to 46 degrees. That's pretty important, degrees. Did we say that on the last one? So this was 80 degrees. Can't forget about the degree symbol. So 46 degrees, number 11. All right, these do start to get tougher. All right, so let's stick to the script, right? Stick to the script. Add up the arcs. X plus 160 divided by 2 equals 100. All right, solving for x, I got to multiply both sides by 2. Why? Because the left side is divided by 2. So that's why you have to undo. You do the opposite operation and whatever that number is. So left-hand side is going to cancel. So x plus 160 is equal to 200. Subtract 160 from both sides. X is equal to 40. X is equal to 40. Okay, this one's a little different. Here, it looks like the intersecting, the lines are on the circle. So we call this an inscribed angle, right? Because it is inscribed inside the circle and the vertex is on the circumference of the circle. So this value is 1/2 whatever this arc is. And here it tells us that the arc is 134. So half of 134 looks like 67. Is that true? 134 divided by 2, 67 degrees. X is equal to 67 degrees. Okay, inscribed angle is half. Okay, 14. It's not an inscribed angle. This is an exterior. So what happens is we have two arcs that are being made. We have the bigger arc and we have the smaller arc. So it's always going to be the big arc minus the smaller arc divided by 2. That equals the exterior angle. In this case, X. So whatever the exterior angle is. So big arc minus the small arc divided by 2. That's what we got to commit to memory. Big arc minus the small arc divided by 2. So here we have the big arc, 100, minus the small arc. Okay, we don't know directly what the small arc is, but there are some ways of figuring this out. The fact that there's 360 degrees in a circle, and I know 1, 2, 3 segments. So 360 minus 100 minus 110 minus 80 gives us 70. So the remaining arc is going to be 70. All this is divided by 2, and all this is going to equal X, the exterior angle. So 100 minus 70, that's nice, 30, divided by 2 equals X. So 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 degrees. X is equal to 15 degrees. All right, number 15, same idea, right? It's going to be the big arc minus the small arc equals the exterior angle of 20 degrees. So we have the big arc minus small arc divided by 2 equals the exterior angle of 20 degrees. Okay, multiplying both sides by 2. You have to tell yourself, why is that? So 70 minus X is equal to 40. All right, solving for X. Let's be careful. So a couple ways to think about this. If I subtract 70 from both sides, I'm going to get negative X is equal to negative 30. Right, they both have the negative. Angles in geometry can't be negative, right? Like They can be negative later on in future classes, but as far as geometry is concerned, it's always a positive angle. So we can actually cancel out the negatives, and x is equal to 30 degrees. Positive 30. Positive 30. All right, 16 is the same thing, right? It just looks a little funny. Right, we have the big arc. We have a smaller arc. And it's always big arc minus small arc. Now, granted, the small arc is x, and we don't know what the big arc is. But I know that there's 360 degrees in a circle. So the big arc is going to be 360 minus the small arc. Equals 50, right? So big arc, 360. Minus x, that's the big arc, minus the small arc, divided by 2, equals 50. So multiply both sides by 2. 360 minus x is equal to 100. I dropped the parentheses because we're just dividing and nothing needs to get distributed. So combining like terms on the left, 360 minus 2x is equal to 100. Subtract 360. Negative 260, right? Because 100 minus 360. Dividing both sides by negative 2. X is equal to 130 degrees. 130 degrees. Okay. All right, 17. We're looking for x. X is going to be this right here. I'm assuming. Right, it's a degree. Okay, so let's see. So the idea is that if I can figure out what some of these angles are. So the first one that pops out at me is the red angle. And that's because if this is if this side is 61, the single red slash is going to be supplementary, meaning it adds up to 180. So 180 minus 61. 119. So this is 119. All right, next is that this arc and this angle is an inscribed angle. This angle is half the arc because it's inscribed. So half of 68, 34. So this is 34. Now I know that a triangle must add up to 180. So 119 and 34. So 119 plus 34 is 153. 180 minus 153 is 27. So x is equal to 27 degrees. Hopefully you can convince yourself that that is correct. All right, 18. This one's fun. Here the rule is you got to think inscribed angle. Right, because inscribed angle, the vertex is on the circumference of the circle. So inscribed angle says that the angle is half the arc. Half the arc. So if this right side arc is 200, then the left side blue arc is going to be 360 minus 200, 160. And the angle is half the arc. Is half the arc. So 160 divided by 2 is 80. X is equal to 80 degrees because the angle is half the arc. All right, number 19. The last one I'm going to do. Big arc minus the small arc divided by 2 equals the exterior angle. So big arc minus the small arc divided by 2 equals the exterior angle. Excuse me. Multiply both sides by 2. Two times 28 is 56. Subtract. Dying. I'm dying. 56 minus 114 is negative 58. They're both negative, so we can cancel those out. X is equal to 58 degrees. Okay. Good luck.